know?
Yeah.
The angrier you get, that doesn't mean shit to the other person on the other end, which is, it's like
things don't always work like that.
You're trying to pull it in, but pulling it in, just, it's like, dude, you can't force this. Sometimes you need to just chill, and you need to just accept, hey, this thing is gonna happen for me like it happened for everybody else in this room. You can't force this. You can't bring this towards you quicker than what it's willing, than the pace that it's supposed to be. You can't force it. You need to just, sometimes you need to just chill, and you need to just accept, hey, this thing is gonna happen for me like it happened for everybody else in this room. That's kind of like a reminder that I like to give myself.
Where's the numbers? All right, we're on.
We did it. Do you need the clap?
We only got one camera.
Oh, dude, I just found 5 cents. What a
Holy
lucky
shit.
day. It's gonna be a lucky podcast.
You see, I found a coin with the king's head on it now.
No way.
Yeah, the king is on the coin.
Our king?
Well, the king of England, I guess.
The king of England.
I'm not sure if
I
it's
think
our
this
king.
is your
but-
coffee.
Yeah, hey man, I figured we don't have to make a big fancy welcome to the podcast type of intro, because the long form podcast maybe might not need that,
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's still cool to do the intros, like, that we add on at the beginning.
Yes.
But because now we're doing clips, we don't necessarily need to say Jiu-Jitsu a million times.
But we do have to monitor our foul mouths. You wash your mouth out this morning?
I did, yeah. I brushed my teeth.
That's good.
I don't know if we can not just bleep it out for the first 10 minutes.
Sounds like work.
It is.
I once heard like
I don't like work.
Yes, exactly. Some of the smartest people, most successful people literally in the world, in this weird, odd way, they obviously work very hard, but they do have a mentality of avoiding silly work because they don't like to do it.
Yeah.
There's this weird, I guess the word might be irony in those scenarios, where it's like you are always working, but you have this weird attitude towards work that is like, I want to avoid doing hard, maybe not hard things,
No, I think
meticulous.
I know what you mean, because a lot of those people will call themselves lazy. They're like, I'm lazy, or I'm always procrastinating, but I don't think it's that. It's that, like, they don't want to do what bores them, and they only want to do what's going to really drive their project forward.
Oh, that's well
And like
said.
anything else, they're like, can I just get someone to do that for me? It's like, I don't want to do that,
Isn't that like the mentality and philosophy of any inventor on the planet? It's like, go mow the lawn with some crappy machine. It's gonna take forever.
I need a better
I
machine.
need a better machine, or whatever the case might be. But like, any sort of innovation is kind of born out of, like, I don't want to use the word disgust, but like an anger towards doing something that you're just like, there has to be a better and easier way. So it's like they have that attitude as well in a weird way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I've I don't have, like, I'm not a big entrepreneur or anything, but just with my small business, I'm realizing that, like, I'm working a lot less hard working for myself and making more money. You're like, what does that even make sense?
Yeah, there's a weird thing there, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe,
but it is because I don't have to do all those small, stupid tasks that, like, an employer would get you to do, because he doesn't want to do it himself, really.
Dude, you're so right. Like, having been on the other foot of that, like, a lot of times you're kind of, well, no, I think like a rookie boss is going to act that way. But the problem is that most bosses are rookies, but that is a rookie boss where it's like, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to pawn it off to somebody kind of like randomly, and like without that thing being in their, like in the on your employees kind of responsibility list. They're just like, I'm the boss, I don't need to do that. Even in the gym, there's a bunch of things that I feel, no, I don't feel at all. There's a bunch of things here that I could say I shouldn't be doing, but I take pride in doing them because that's what makes me the boss. Like like vacuuming the floors, cleaning the mats, cleaning the toilets, dude.
Yeah.
I will do all of those things with so much pride because that's what makes me the boss. But there are people
And I think it keeps you grounded, man, because
Oh,
like
you think so?
the more humility you accumulate when you get when like a person has to ask you a question, you don't come from a inflated ego, place to where you're like, oh, I'm too good for that, or like you have to listen to me or whatever.
No, that's super fair. That's super fair. Again, it should you should if you have the mentality of treating your people as if they're kind of like the cans that have to do all the stuff you don't want to do, then their job is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Like so. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a rookie approach, but if you're a quality boss, like you gotta make sure that all the fun stuff gets done by your people, and they like their shit. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know how we landed here, but
Me neither. Where
yeah,
were you last night? You stay home?
I stayed home and I watched a movie about like some TSA guy. It was pretty cool.
TSA? A
It,
documentary?
no, 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 no. It was like not a crap. It was a pretty good movie, but like
Comedy or?
the TSA is like those dudes who
Yeah, the airport.
the airport
Yeah,
dudes,
check
yeah,
your bags and
like some terrorists want to get some shit on a
yeah,
plane.
yeah. You can't
Yeah,
have a lighter,
yeah,
you can't
yeah,
have
yeah. Those
shampoo
guys.
or whatever.
Yeah. It's weird. You watch the movie, and because of the movie, you want to hate them because those TSA guys are so annoying because they tell you no to everything. But at the same time, like you watch the movie and you're like, they're human too. They got to do their job. But it's a weird argument when you fall into that they
It's a
got to
tough
do their
job,
job.
man.
It's a tough job, yeah.
And you're just annoying the shit out of people who are just trying to travel.
Dude, like they portray these characters of people who are just like, some of them are just pure anger. They're just like, you guys suck.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, man, I think those things. Do I say them? Do I verbalize them? Absolutely not. But I'm always like, my God, can we do this a little faster? Because my ego in that moment is like,
Yeah.
I'm the only thing that matters. But
They're there 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So for them, it's like, dude, going fast. I do this all the time.
exactly.
What am I gonna go fast all the time in my life?
And they're just gonna burn out.
Yeah, dude.
Like, you can't, so they have to go at the pace they have to go at, which is again, it's nuts. But yeah, you watch this movie and you're kind of like,
Is it a comedy? I don't
no, no, no,
understand.
it's like a thriller, dude. Honestly, I think you would love it.
A
Like, I
thriller.
don't want to give it away in
Are
any
they
way.
trying to catch a bad guy?
Yeah, like
Or
there's
they're just regular TSA guys?
regular TSA guy.
How is that not a comedy,
It's
bro?
not. It's not. The way they position it, like without giving, I don't want to give it away, but the way that they position it is like ultimately there's a dude trying to get some shit on a plane, and like the TSA guy is the main dude who can
Is
who
it
can
like
stop
a
this.
regular? So there was a movie back in the day. It was with Denzel Washington, and he was either a New York City train operator, like operating the train, or just the guy like in the office making sure that the trains don't run into each other. Like
Good.
on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
And a guy hijacks the train, and then somehow Denzel Washington, who's just like this regular like office Joe Mo schlub, steps up to the plate and
Yeah.
like ends up like saving the day somehow.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it like that?
There's a bit of the hero's journey with this guy because he's kind of like the TSA guy who hasn't got a promotion in a while or ever actually. So they kind of do build him up as this like this not I don't want to say outcast, but this guy who's kind of like doesn't care about his job. And right in the beginning, so I'm not giving anything away, like he kind of asks his boss for a raise, and his boss is like, "You?" He's like, "No, you just came in late for the meeting." He's like, "No, you don't want to be here. You don't care about your job. I'm not giving you a freaking raise."
Does he get a gun? Does he have a gun?
I don't think the SA guys have guns, but
In this movie, does he?
eventually there are guns in this movie. Yes, it's decent,
It's never a bad movie. A Denzel Washington movie.
dude. Denzel is
He's
the
kind
man.
of he's like the most stoic killer dude. He is the man.
He's the man. He's the man. I heard once that the reason why he's the man, like apparently he's very good looking. I think at one point he won like a
He's good looking.
yeah, I know. I feel the same way. I'm like, man, you ain't Brad Pitt good looking.
Mm-mm.
Like but he
It's very
apparently
normal looking.
yeah, I agree.
me.
100%. Like anyways, ultimately it's because his face is extremely symmetrical. people people have like called that out. Anyways, I don't know. Now we're talking Denzel. So
Did you see the movie John Q?
John Q.
Yeah, it's with Denzel. His kid has like
Yeah, dude.
cancer or something, so he
Yeah.
holds up the hospital.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, that's a good one, dude.
That's an old school
You
one, bro.
watch that and you're like, yeah, it's old school, but
You're rooting for the guy. 'Cause
of course you're rooting for the guy. He's trying
He
to
just
save
wants
his
to save his
kid.
kid, bro.
What do you want him to do? Those are those impossible movies.
Yeah.
There's a crazy dilemma in this TSA movie that I'm talking about. There's a crazy dilemma that the TSA guy is in as well. It's like it's fun.
So you stayed home last night instead of training. You know what? You know what I have to say to that?
Go ahead.
Good for you, bro.
Oh wow, thank you. I
You
thought you were
deserve
gonna
it, man.
scorn me.
No,
Yeah.
no. Good for you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're here all the time working,
Thanks, man.
teaching classes, trying to get some roles in,
Not easy.
vacuuming, you know, taking care of this house.
Toilets.
Toilets, dude, the cleaning the geese and all that, the mats, the floors, everything.
Thanks, homie.
I'm glad did you get some pizza or some junk food or something?
I baked some cookies.
Amazing.
Yes.
You need to do that sometimes, you
Yes,
know? We need to learn to
Stop.
stay home, couch, movie,
You're right.
food.
You're right. Couch, movie, food. Couch, movie, food. CMF, baby. I'm in. I'm all about that.
Yeah,
all
dude.
about that lifestyle.
Good for you, dude.
But today and now we are here for the white belts or
White
the
belt
belts.
question podcast. Yeah, white belt questions podcast.
Maybe we need to abbreviate that to CBQ. How do you feel about CBQ?
It's WBQ, right?
Oh wow, I totally fucked that up.
Yeah.
White. Oh man, maybe I'm like
WBQ.
dyslexic. WBQ. I was gonna go with Carlson, but now I think that doesn't make any sense. But
There's no Carlson.
there is no Carlson in our title. White belt questions. WBQ.
You know what, man? Your story of staying home and taking it easy kind of goes into the Krevlo question that we answered last week that we're going to re-answer today.
Wow, it's a double answer for Krevlo.
No, because we're not going to post that episode. We're going to bank it.
Banking an episode.
Yeah,
very nice. Okay, got it.
So Krevlo's question last week was
it's like a new question right now, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, for them, yeah.
Got it.
Krevlo was asking, what is the best way to get past a jiu-jitsu plateau or a plateau in jiu-jitsu? So what is the best way to get past a plateau in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, crazy. You want to take first stab at this, or?
Yeah, I will take first stab at this. You think the question is clear to the audience?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be more clear. Like, in anything you do in life, eventually you do hit a plateau. And how do you overcome that plateau? Specifically, in this case, in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Okay, so what we were saying last week is that we made like two categories for types of plateaus. You got a complacent plateau and a frustration plateau.
Oh, yeah.
If you're in the complacent plateau, right, maybe you're not training as hard, you're bored, you're rolling with people who you always roll with because it's safe. You know, you don't try to, you don't go into a roll, you know, like you end up at the end of a roll and you're not out of breath or you're not sweating.
Zone.
Yeah, you're in a comfort zone. So that can lead to being in a plateau, and then the way to get out of that would be to maybe put a goal on your calendar. You know, like I want to compete on this date. That'll get you out of that comfort zone, because now all of a sudden, you know, you don't want to show up to a competition unprepared. You don't want to lose in front of your friends. You don't want to lose for, you know, you want to win for your club and all that, you know. So you're going to show up to training with a goal in mind. The goal doesn't necessarily have to be a competition either. You know, the goal can be, I want to get my belt at the next promotion, which is in like 4 or 5 months. So I got to show to my teammates that my game is advancing, you know. I think like things like that will just get you to show up more and to advance your game more and like advance your, yeah.
Dude, you're so right. Like, I don't know how this is happening, but the TSA guy in the movie,
yeah,
the reason why he's not getting any promotions
complacent.
or he's complacent, and he's just like, he's actually like super, in a weird way, super good at what he does. Like it's easy for him and he has such an easy time, but he's super complacent, and he just has no real reason to push harder. But then again, this gives nothing away in the plot. In the movie, his girl's pregnant. So now all of a
Ooh.
sudden, he's got to make more money. He's got to do like he wants to like provide a better life for
Yeah.
his family. So now he has a reason to push harder. And I think that that's exactly kind of what you're describing with the tournament.
Yeah.
Like you need, if you're in that complacent plateau, you need a reason, a motivation to push a little bit harder and get outside of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
And going to a tournament, and then you named off like all of those reasons, but like putting a tournament on the kind of roadmap and signing up for it, not like mentally.
Which is something that I need to do, and I meant to do it like last night. I don't know why these things. I don't know why we procrastinate so hard with these things, but I want to do the next SAU.
Dude, can I ask you, actually, you're great at answering this question, and I think you absolutely should do the next SAU.
Yeah.
It's the Carlins SAU.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fireman Carlins.
The Kimura.
The Kimura man. Shout out to Carlins. The next SAU, February 15. Why do we procrastinate these things that are clearly good for us and for our game and for our jiu-jitsu?
They're good for us, but if they take us out of our comfort zone. Like, dude, I've been showing up. Okay. We need both. Like, you need it to stay home, dude. You gotta chill sometimes, man. You can't just always be on the go, because there is some enjoyment to a lot of effort. Like, you can be proud, of your day, of your effort, of your progress. But it's also it's a lot of tense energy. You always need to be focused, you need to show up, you need to be dialed in. If you do that all the time, it kind of sucks out the fun of life. You know what I mean? Like that, like, playful kid energy.
Yeah.
That exists a lot less when you're so focused on a goal. Not that it doesn't exist at all. There are still moments of it, but you're just less relaxed. And you can improve your game, let's say your jiu-jitsu game, being both of those. Like, I've improved my game a lot in the last months because I come in here more relaxed, like less trying to impose my will, less trying to impose my game, and that opens up like creativity and other options that I wouldn't explore if I wasn't trying to, like if I'm just trying to win so much in every role. I'm not going to take chances on like new moves or new things that I don't normally do. So, but I'm not trying as hard. Like, I might not be going up against the guys that scare me on the mats, or I might not be. I might be not rolling every round. I might be like laid back and I'm going to catch my breath. I'm going to wait for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. There's a lot of good that comes from that. Give yourself a break from kind of always being dialed in. So yeah, I get it. I guess when I was listening to you say that, I feel like it's a bit of like dude, I have no idea where I'm gonna go with this. Like I'm not that good at Confucianism, I think is where it's coming from, but the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey dude, balance it out. Like if you're gonna be always quote unquote intense energy competition mode, like you will, like you said, like I don't know if it takes the fun out of things, but there's definitely something about always being intentioned constantly. And then there's hold on, let me get my abbreviation right. Couch, food, TV. Did we say couch, food, TV?
Couch TV. Yeah.
Couch, TV, food.
Yeah.
CT. Fuck me. What is it?
CTF.
CTF, baby. There's something about CTF a little bit that takes the edge off. And there has been moments, so I understand the need for the balance between the two. There has been times where like I've been so frustrated, and this comes back to the question with Krevlo, where I've been so frustrated with my jiu-jitsu. And I actually believe it's because I've been too dense, like I've been too of that energy. And then there's like this weird moment where, against my own will, it's a weird thing that happens where I almost kind of give up. I'm almost like, okay, whatever. It's like a submission that I'm doing. Like I'm submitting to this, whatever. It'll be what it'll be kind of thing. And then like after that moment, like the following weeks, like I start my jujitsu starts leveling up and I'm hitting things that I never hit and I'm seeing things more smoothly. There's this weird moment when I just kind of let it be, if that's
Yeah.
the right way
Yeah.
to say it, and then things start to click.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest phenomenon almost.
When you want things too much, sometimes it's like you're keeping them away. You know, like you're not attracting them in a way. If you're too hell bent on trying to impose your will on something.
Sometimes you need to just chill and you need to just accept, hey, this thing is going to happen for me like it happened for everybody else in this room. That's kind of like a reminder that I like to give myself is
Yeah.
I'm no different than anyone here. And because I'm no different than anyone here, this will happen for me as well. But that feeling of like trying to pull it towards you so that it happens quicker, I actually think that's something that you need to maybe be on guard about to some extent, or because that feeling, it's like a negative destructive thought that kind of like poisons your
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
from within, and
You know what I
it's
think it is? You got to avoid tunnel vision, you know? Like if you need to know where you're at. So let's say you're so focused with that dialed in energy on on the fact that you're not getting better and you want to get better, then maybe you're not even realizing that like you need a break, you know? Because you're so just focused on the goal that you might not be in tune with yourself, realizing that, hey, I've been coming here 4 days a week for the last 3 months. This is not good for me anymore. I gotta chill out, you know? Like you gotta stay home, watch a movie, eat some junk food, you know.
TSA movie.
Yeah, do a thing that's like outside of the realm of jiu-jitsu for a few days, just so that you can unwind and open up, you know, not open up your perspective and then come back in here with like a fresher view on things maybe.
Yeah, I really do believe that that could be the remedy in a lot of cases when it comes to plateauing. And I think we had mentioned in the last kind of like run by episode, but we're going through it again here, where, and I think it's making more sense this time. But I think what we were saying was there's kind of like two plateaus. There's the complacency plateau.
Complacent and the frustration.
Yes, I think you had a better word for it. I think because it was the first time I heard that.
Yeah.
It's called brooding. Is that not the
Oh, brooding.
applicable time for this, or is
Yeah.
it just frustration?
No, I mean they're a bit exchange, like brooding is, it's a bit more hardcore, you know, like if you're brooding, if you're at the point in your life where you're really like brooding on a subject, you're almost torturing yourself, man. You know,
Oh,
it's like
really?
at
It's an
that point you're
extreme.
like, dude,
Step away.
calm down,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah. Step away. Well, then okay, the frustration bit. I think like what we're describing right now in terms of overcoming a plateau and some of the advice that we're giving, if you are in a mode where you're increasingly frustrated with your jujitsu, that's that feeling of trying to be like, I'm gonna force this, I'm gonna get better quicker against kind of against the normal pattern of getting good at jujitsu. Like you're trying to force it, you're trying to speed things through. I feel like in a very real way, my real it's a relationship that I have with jujitsu. It's not like jujitsu is its own being, and
Yeah, I get that. Yep.
so like you start out a relationship with a significant other or whoever, and you're trying to rush it through, be like, you need to love me and you need to, be my person, and
Yeah.
like we were made for, like, it's like, whoa, dude, I listened to this thing on Instagram last night where it was like a radio show. Bro, it made me laugh so much. It was a they called the guy and they're like, hey, listen, we got an email Did you watch it too,
Yes,
dude?
yeah.
Oh my
How
god,
crazy is
the
that, dude?
algorithm.
This is the second time this happens
This
where
is the
you
best.
say something and before you say it, I'm like,
You
I
already
know what
knew.
you mean.
Dude, how funny was that? Just for some clarification, they're like, hey, you went on a date with another person. And that other person wrote us an email being like, hey, they thought it was going to work out type thing. Tell me if I'm butchering
That's
this.
it.
They thought it was going to work out, but you never called them back. And they had this thing. And now, like, they gave us your number because we want to know, like, what happened. And he was like, they started asking him, like, have you been on a date recently? And he's like, me, a date? He's like, no, last date I was on was a couple of months ago. And they're like, you sure you weren't on a date like a few days ago? And he's like, days ago. And then, anyways, it goes down this kind of rabbit hole where the person was actually on the line listening the whole time, and then they start saying like, you're not going to call that a date, and they kind of start arguing back and forth. It was very funny, but that person's energy was the same kind of energy that I'm talking about here, where you're trying to rush things,
Yeah.
and you're just coming across like a psycho. Don't rush things. Like, this is a relationship, and just treat it with the respect that it deserves, in terms of it will progress how it's supposed to progress.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to try and force it. Anytime you try and force anything in life, you're never going to get the result. Whether it be like a relationship with a significant other, your job. If you're the guy, dude, who's asking your boss after a month to get a raise, it's like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
So don't rush things. And this I think is like a similar mentality that you need to adopt when it comes to the frustration part of a
Yep.
plateau. It's like, hey, you're in this relationship, you can't rush it through. You're going to have to go through the same process we all went through. And in that process, there's arguments, there's frustrations, but just go through the motions, and at the end, you will level up. It's just inevitable. You just have to kind of take it slow.
That's a hard thing, right? Because by the way, I think there's a bunch of books on that. Like isn't there a book called The Law of Attraction?
It used to be the talk of the town. I never read it, but
Me neither. But I haven't read it either.
yeah.
But I'm just gonna assume
We're gonna
that
talk about it.
that's kind of what it is. It's like you can't if you want things too much, you're not going to be attracting them. You're actually like, it's kind of gross to people when you want to be around them too much. You know what I mean? So it's like this like balance of like positioning yourself in a way that like and also it's like, look, you attract what you attract. You can't force attraction on anything. You can't. Anyways, what was I going to say?
No, you're right, dude. When you say you attract what you attract, and you can't force something.
Yeah.
You're saying the same thing. You can't force yourself into better jujitsu. You can't force that notion just because you're angry about it, just because you're frustrated about it. We don't care. And jujitsu doesn't care. You can't force it through. Just the more angry you get about the fact that you're in a plateau, again, we're in the frustration section of the plateau.
Yeah.
The angrier you get, that doesn't mean shit to the other person on the other end, which is jujitsu in this case. Jujitsu is not going to be like, okay, you're super angry. Let's rush you through this. We're going to just level you up as quickly as possible because you're super angry.
Yeah.
No, dude, you're going to have to accept it. You're going to have to go through the same motions we all went through. You're going to be sick to your stomach about your jujitsu. You're going to keep at it. You're going to keep showing up. And then eventually it's going to unclick. Literally. Like, that's the storyline. If you can't accept that storyline, and you're in this constant need that you want to kind of get what you almost don't deserve, then this is a big life lesson for you, dude or dudette. Like, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna get it, and you're actually gonna probably end up brooding in an extreme form.
Yeah, it's everyone's gonna go through that. And, it's like in life, like you got it sometimes, you lose it, you're frustrated, you become complacent. Yeah, dude, like if you do anything long enough, you're gonna be going in and out of those phases. And I mean, really, what it comes down to is not quitting and just having faith that if you continue, you'll eventually move past that phase and then into another phase. Maybe the next phase is complacent, and then maybe the next phase is that perfect balance to where all of a sudden you're relaxed and dialed in. You know, that flow state where
Oof.
everything's working perfectly, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, man, this
The
is great,
best.
you know?
It's the best, dude.
Yeah.
That is the best. If you can get there, like, is that maybe the line between the yin and the yang? Is that like the perfect spot? Is that the?
It could be.
I
Plus,
don't know these
it's
things.
like a squiggly line, so
Yeah,
it's
that
kind of a
squiggly
flowy
line.
thing there.
I would love to be the squiggly line, not black, not white, squiggly. That would
Dude,
be epic.
this is I have a thought in my mind that I want to say, and it comes in, and then as soon as I say another thing, it just
God, I mean that's our ADHD. Like that's the effect of what Instagram has done
yeah.
to us. But I will say,
Oh, I got it.
bam.
Before it goes away. Okay. Here's another thing. The more frustrated I am, the more if I'm in that frustrated state, I'm so hard on myself. Like I become to a point to where um I'll feel like a bitch if I roll with people who are, let's say, as good as me or not as good as me. So I end up rolling with people who I'm going to lose to because they're better than me, right? Like I become so hard on myself that I don't accept anything that's remotely easy in my mind. So I end up losing all my rolls, or I get smashed, and I become even more frustrated, and then I try to move myself even more in that direction. So a lot of times it's like giving yourself a break in that, like, look, losing all the time is no good, right? It's like that story of those lobsters who fight. Two lobsters get into a fight. The one who wins walks away, like claws out. He just has this stance of like, I'm the biggest, baddest lobster. And then every other lobster becomes afraid of him, and he starts winning all of his next fights. The lobster who wins loses, cowers away, and loses all his fights. So if you and that's just like, I think that it's honestly just psychology. I know it sounds like woo woo stuff, but
It's not woo woo.
if you've been losing a lot, give yourself a break. I'm not saying go be a bully to like smaller to newer white belts, but just roll with the guys who you feel comfortable with, you're at their same level, or roll with a person who's a little bit like under you, just so that you can work your own game and get some confidence back,
Yeah, get some
like,
lobster energy back.
yeah, you don't have to you don't have to come in here and get smashed every day.
Yeah,
That's not going to do you any good.
absolutely, dude. There's a few things there. It's like, and like, well, there's a few things. The first thing is it's focus. You know, for whatever reason, that word has become such a pillar in my life. Like, I love the word, and when it became blatantly obvious that like this was like my word, focus. I was in Morocco. I'm telling you, I know this sounds like woo woo stuff. You're gonna think that this is woo woo. I'm gonna tell you honest to God. I was in Morocco, and that word had just gone on my radar within the last maybe month. And I was just like, that's my word. Like, I need focus. And I always kind of imagined like the word focus, but like with some spacing between the letters. Like even the spacing, just like, I don't know, it just made me visualize focus so well. And dude, I was walking in like a market and they were selling keychains. And one of the keychains was a gold circle that had the word focus embedded into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is crazy. And the person I was with was like, oh, that's so ugly. I was like, I'll pay anything for it, because I wanted it, because it was so important. But that is what's happening over here. If you lose focus and then you start giving energy towards I'm not good, or I'm losing all my roles, or I'm angry, or well, if you're putting your focus there, you're not putting your focus here and here, which is the things that are actually going to grow you. There are things that are going to reduce you, and then there are the things that are going to grow you. Like it or not, whether you want to consciously or subconsciously believe it, you made a decision to shift your focus into areas that are not going to develop you. Being angry about things and, in an extreme case, brooding, that's really not going to get you. That's not going to get you ultimately to the goal that you want to get to. Actually, and we all know this, most literally will take you away from that goal.
Yeah.
Which is this weird thing that we like to do to self-sabotage ourselves with the intention of kind of saying, this is like a weird way of giving up. It's not weird, actually, sorry. It's a real way of giving up. You allow for that
But it's so weird because it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah,
it
doesn't.
feels like you're not quitting. That's yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
if like if you want it so much that you show up even more, you work even harder, you don't accept giving yourself a break, you roll against guys who will challenge you, it feels like the opposite. It feels like you're really going for it, but still nothing is working. Like, dude,
That's
it's a
real.
horrible place to be.
That's so real. And it's hard. And I guess that's why, like, we have you should ask people, and like this advice becomes so valuable, because to unfuck yourself out of that scenario is a difficult thing.
You gotta you gotta hit it up the couch in the movie, dude.
Yeah, and more like, you have to have somebody just that you blindly trust.
Yeah.
Say to you, listen, Krevlo. I mean, actually, Krevlo's not the frustration guy. Listen, frustration guy. You gotta chill, and you gotta unfocus from all of this negative energy. Stop trying to pull your partner in. Stop trying to rush the jiu-jitsu. We need to set all that energy aside. We need to get on this other track here. And in order to get on that other track, here's the remedy. We're going to give you some couch, TV, and food. CTF? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
We're going to give you some of that. We're going to give you some light rolls so that you can lobster it up and start getting your posture back and believing in yourself a little bit more. We're going to take away some of that dark energy, that like needy kind of like, I need to force this energy, and we need to go back into playful mode. You need to freaking enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. It's another great way of getting out of that energy, because really what happens when you're in that space is that you become self-obsessed. You're really just thinking about yourself, your own progress. You're angry at yourself. You become angry at others. You're self-obsessed. A great way to get out of that obsession is by being useful to other people, like being in service to others.
I love that.
Right? Like, that gets you to stop thinking about yourself and your own problems so much. So I don't know, like, if you're a higher belt, maybe stop chasing the other higher belts for a week or two and show up to beginner classes even, and be like, I'm going to pair up with this brand new beginner and I'm going to show him jiu-jitsu. Do that for a week. Do that for as long as it takes, but I mean, I don't think it should be more than like a week or two there, but that's a great way to get out of that.
Yeah, give yourself a break, like a little break, Give yourself a little mental break so that we can get back on the right footing and get back in the right mindset and get back into the right energy that's going to make you last. And if you can figure this out, and I think this is why people love jiu-jitsu, is because it does mimic life. If you can figure this bit out, where you're banging your head against the wall and you're trying to pull something in that I want to almost say that you don't deserve yet.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of take a step back, shift of mindset, shift of priorities, give yourself a break, try to make things fun again, learn. We get lost. Like, it's almost like human nature to get lost on that path. And if you can do this in jiu-jitsu, you will see that it is the same exact remedy for work, for relationships, for everything in your life. And then that's, I think, more than anything, I think this is what jiu-jitsu, why this is like crack to some people, is because when we take these lessons in this arena and you can apply them to the rest of your life, you start to kind of turn jiu-jitsu into a cult, because it's teaching you kind of like how religion and religious stories teach you. It's now teaching you about life. And then you're going to preach that to other people, because you're taking these big lessons And that's why we end up becoming the crazy guys at the party who just want to talk about jiu-jitsu to their buddies. And you're kind of looking in the crowd for the guy with cauliflower ear. That's the guy. So I guess that's, I think, part of the larger allure of jiu-jitsu. But only the guys who actually take these lessons make it to the end. At the end, whatever the end is. Again, I always say the end, but there is no such end.
I mean, dude, there are some freaking psychos that end up being black belts who are out of their goddamn mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
True. Yeah, you do not want to be that guy.
I mean, dude, that's probably an example of what happens if you don't let go of your anger, right? You end up being a brown belt or a black belt with very little technique, extreme amount of like strength, and who avoids rolling with anyone who is at his level and who goes around hurting white belts because you're so insecure about being a brown belt who doesn't know shit, you know?
That's so real, dude.
That is the dark side, you know?
That's the dark side.
That is like Anakin turning into Darth Vader.
That's so real. Fuck, what a great scene when he completely flips.
Dude,
there.
I love that scene, man.
That scene is so epic.
When I'm in my darkest times, dude,
Yeah,
I look,
scene. Whoa.
You know, the one where
we are talking about the lava moment, right?
Yes, but the very beginning of that, before they get into that fight, I don't know, I haven't watched those movies in a long time.
Yes.
But his girl, Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Right? No, hold on. Obi-Wan confronts him.
Yes.
Right?
For killing all the kids, or I don't even remember.
I don't remember, but he's like, "You've gone too far, Anakin,"
right.
you know? And then he's like, "You don't know what you're talking about, right?" And then his girl, Natalie Portman, walks down the ship, and then he sees her behind him.
Yes.
And he feels betrayed, right? Because he's like, "You fucking snitched on me."
Yes.
You know, like, I trusted you.
Yes.
And then that's when him and Obi-Wan get into this duel, dude.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But that is Anakin wanting it way too much, dude.
Yes.
He's everything good in his life, he's pushing it away. You know, and he's just attracting more and more.
And he's seeing what he wants to see. That scenario, he made it up in his head. The scenario with Natalie Portman kind of going
You're
up, like
banging Obi-Wan.
Pretty much. Like, oh, you betrayed me, but like it wasn't that. You know, like you see what you want to see after, and that's the whole focus thing. Is you start to see when you're on that path. If you chose to focus that way, you're gonna see what you want to see. Instead of having like a good roll with somebody that was competitive, it now becomes, I got my butt kicked by this guy. I suck. I'm never gonna get good at jiu-jitsu. You're using all the proof instead of, whoa, I just had a pretty competitive role. Yeah, I mean, in a technical way, maybe I lost, but I had a really competitive role with a guy. Like, that's really good. Like, that's, for this week, check the box of having a competitive role with someone better than me. Check. That's like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Rather than seeing it as I got my butt kicked, which is silly. Like I put in my head sometimes, I have to roll with Mortaza this week. I don't want to roll with Mortaza, and I am going to get my butt kicked, but it's like a positive check mark. Even though I do get my butt kicked, it's like I faced a challenge.
I feel like Mort showed me some good stuff this week. Oh, yeah, he showed me a pass that works really well with my game. I need, drilling partners are so important, man.
Yeah, we're starting, when you get to, there's like a phase, right, where you realize now, hey,
I actually need to practice these moves repeatedly. Like, I need this specific thing for my game.
Yes.
Because it fits in my game. But if I don't drill it right away, then it'll just leave. And it's going to come back when? In a couple of months when I remember?
Well, that's part of, like, we won't go into them like specifically, but the kind of belt mindsets at one point, like, let's say bluish purple towards the end there, you start to say to yourself, I know who I am. And now I need to refine who I am. So you need to sharpen that knife. And, clearly you're displaying some of that mindset.
Dude, JP last Wednesday, man. So Wednesday at noon, we have open mats here. And I showed up last Wednesday because I wasn't working.
That's probably when Mortaza showed you some of the stuff.
Yes.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes. So JP is on the mat. You know how, like, he'll, like, ask you something? But he does it as if he wasn't asking you for him. He was asking you for you or something.
I know exactly what you mean. I don't think anybody else will. But I know because I know JP.
Yeah.
He is literally. Yes, I mean
So
he's doing it for you. It's this weird scenario.
so well, yeah. I mean, he makes you feel like he's doing it for you, but really he wants it for himself, which is okay. But he's not asking in that. Like, man, if you ask me for a favor, I'm way more likely to say yes
Oh, then when it's
than you asking me if you can do me a favor, but it's really just you trying to get me to do the thing. You know what I mean?
I
It's like,
totally know what you
why
mean.
are you
Hey,
putting
you
all
want to
this?
drill something?
Or no, it's like, hey, do you need to drill
Do you
something?
need to drill
I'm like,
something?
no,
Yeah.
I don't need to drill something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just after, he's like, oh, dude, I really wanted to drill with you that day. Then what
Yeah.
the fucking say that,
Yeah,
motherfucker?
yeah, I totally get it.
So the week
But
before,
that's also how JP learns. He looks at people who have certain games and
Yeah.
he's like, through what you want to drill on me, I'm gonna learn something.
no, I know.
Yes, I know. It's his way of asking is pretty
yes.
wild.
So the week before, I had done drilling with JP. You saw it, right? Like I
Yes.
think we
Yeah, I
had
remember.
spent. I don't know. It was like a class after a class, right? And we had a corner, and we were drilling over unders and stuff, and it was great, man. JP's a great drilling partner.
100%.
He would like for me, it was the best case scenario drilling
Yes.
with JP. It was
Yeah.
fucking perfect.
And good body for you. You guys have a similar body.
Yeah.
Height, everything. He's a really good drilling partner for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He literally is almost identical to you, dude.
I wonder, eh? You think we're the same weight too?
I think so. I think he's 155, 160, 100. No, he's probably 160.
Yeah.
I know you put on a bit
Yeah.
recently, but like,
I mean, I would have to weigh myself, but dude, the last time I've been weighing myself, I've been like 173, 177 once.
it's freaking wild,
Crazy,
dude.
right?
we gotta drain your cauliflower ears.
There's a video on Instagram of me eating that
Yeah,
gross thing there,
Vegemite.
Vegemite. Dude, my face is so skinny. I'm so sunken in.
I love it.
I don't even know what to think about it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's weird, dude. When you go through those phases where you're like, I got that skinny face sometimes.
I don't know that I'm gonna drop back down to that weight. I
Oh.
think I might compete at like 168.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, anyways,
JP, you're drilling with him in the corner.
JP's a yeah, dude. JP's just and then on Wednesday, I feel like I missed that chance. But yeah, JP, dude,
Ask straight.
just be straight up, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he wanted to drill. I thought he was asking me if I needed to drill something. No, motherfucker, I don't need to drill something.
Yes, I love it. But do
I mean,
you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, it's good to be direct.
he got a bunch of drilling with John Lau.
Oh, great. Yeah,
Yeah,
John is the
amazing.
ultimate. Dude, can I just shout out John Lau? John Lau is one of the black belts here at the gym. Bro, there's a guy who came through over the weekend from New York. Purple belt.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you. I don't know. Do you know? Dude,
Nope.
Max.
I haven't heard about this.
I'm going to lean in to tell you
A
this.
jerk or what?
Nah, dude, a saint. Like, very nice guy.
Hmm.
But this guy, dude, was a giant.
Yeah.
Bro, like, we asked him, so he was 230 pounds. I mean, linebacker. Like, huge dude. And, like, not 230 pounds like cookie dough. Like, 230 pounds construction guy style.
Okay.
So not like I'm just pure shredded muscle, but the construction guy style,
yeah.
which is
Dense.
even stronger than kind of the
Bodybuilder.
the like bodybuilder guy, you know, like you were just like, whoa, and you're a purple belt. And in my head, I'm thinking, obviously I'm watching this guy because I want to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody, the whole story. But you're thinking, okay, big guy like that, purple belt, you know, a lot of times, not to create generalizations, but a lot of times those guys kind of get there
because they're big.
They're so big,
Yep.
and because they just do this to your arm, it's like they're gonna get you that with that Americana Kimura. But this dude was, if not way more technical than I am. I was like, what the hell? Like, he was getting under people. He was chasing the back. Like, it was crazy. He was like, he had a small guy game for a big monster construction guy. And John Lau is probably, I'm just going to guess, but I guarantee you,
145.
yeah, I was gonna say 150, and I'm within 5-10 pounds of
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
John Lau is a very small dude.
I
Like,
love this story,
he's a
bro.
small dude.
Yeah.
And the big guy's like, "You want to roll?" And John's like, "All right." And dude, this gap is massive. Already the guy is a purple belt, is
Yeah.
half John's age, and has literally 80 pounds on him. This is ridiculous. Like, you people think, oh, he's a black belt. He's no, no. Like, they say every 10 years, if like there's a 10-year gap between our age, you should be giving up a belt already. So if I'm 40 and I'm rolling with a 20-year-old and I'm a black belt and he's a purple belt, we're even on that day because you have 20 years on me.
Okay.
And then they say the same thing for weight. People say, like, if you're 10 to 20 pounds heavier than someone, you got to keep giving up a belt. So if I'm 200 and you're 140, dude, I'm a purple belt and you're a white belt. Sorry, I'm a brown belt even. 20, 40, 60. Yeah, I'm a brown belt to you, which is a huge advantage. Bro, John was in it that whole role, constantly negating this guy's strength and ability the whole role. The guy kept trying to do things, and I kept looking at John, just figure out exactly, like, lift his ankle, lift it, keep him on his hip, just so that the guy could never get up to like a.
John was playing guard?
John was both on top and on the bottom in different moments in this role. But when he was playing guard and when they would drop down to like 50-50 or like all these leg entanglements that they were getting into.
It was no gi?
No, it was the gi.
Okay.
Like, it was just everything was happening in that role. I could see John just always honing in on the element that's just going to take away this guy's power.
Yeah.
And it was really beautiful. Like, I was
what
like,
was the guy's game, you think?
The top guy?
The big guy. What was his game?
The big guy. I mean, ultimately, in a role like that, where John is the ultimate guy at kind of negating all of your superpower.
So he wasn't playing a game.
Yeah, you don't get to see the guy's game because John is just
right.
It's like you're trying to start a fire, and he's like, you're trying to start a, he just kept doing that to this huge guy, to the point where I was, dude, again, that weight discrepancy. I mean, you just kind of like, I've had guys who have been that big where they just kind of shove their forearm in my face, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm over. Yeah. Help. Somebody come help me. Like, whereas in this whole role, like, it just never happened. Like, it was a role. Anyways, like, I was even telling Murtaza, like, he had walked in towards the end of that. And I was like, dude, this is a wild thing that I just saw. Like, this is really like the definition of jiu-jitsu. And it's rare that you see it kind of personified and happening right in front of you like that. It's super rare.
Man, I love seeing black belts roll, man. I watched one yesterday on YouTube with commentary. Oh, it's actually, I think it's that brown guy from Toronto.
Oh, I love that guy. Zuka.
Yes, him.
Yeah, dude, I love that guy. Shout out. I think his name is Zuka or Zika. But I love him.
He wears a black gi sometimes with with a red cloud on it, right?
Dude, yes. You know,
he's in Toronto?
Yes, when we were in Oshawa.
I love that guy.
Yeah, for the Open. Remember when we went to Oshawa? The thing that we went to in Toronto.
Yeah. We have a medal here.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Terry Open.
That was Willis. Shout out. Dusty. Yeah, Willis winning the bronze in the purple belt division. Shout out to Willis. But also,
Graham
shout out to Graham.
Gold.
Double.
Yeah.
Did he double? He double gold, I think, dude.
Dude,
he won the absolute and he won his category.
Graham's game was a
brown belt.
Yeah. And it was a pressure game. I loved watching his games. I was like, yo, that's what I want to do when I'm at that level.
Yeah, dude. He's the man. He's the man. But at
tripod holding that motherfucker down.
Breaking grips like
crazy.
That was crazy. But at that tournament, that dude was there. And I was pointing him out. I was like, hey, that's he's super tall. And he's really good. Very good instructor.
It seemed like the video I saw was either him in an absolute, because the guy was taller and bigger than him. It was wild, dude.
Oh, really?
And he was explaining his game. What I like the most about his game and his videos, he does a lot of like lapel stuff, but it's very like kind of simple jiu-jitsu stuff.
He's what makes this particular person. I really want to shout him out. I don't know if we can add his kind of Instagram to this.
We can do it.
But I bought one of his instructionals.
Yeah.
What makes him exceptional is what makes any great instructor exceptional. It's his ability to dumb down complex things and make them simple. Some instructors just don't know how to do that, and it becomes so difficult to learn from
Yeah.
them, where it's like they want to give you
Too
so
much
much
information.
information
Yeah.
that you get lost in the sea. And from their perspective, they're trying to give you the whole picture,
Yeah.
but they don't realize, hey, I cannot hold
Yeah. It's
all
too
of
much.
this.
Yeah.
It's just too much for the first time. And I actually
You got to
really
let people figure it out for themselves a
exactly
little bit. You
a
know, it's
little
like you
bit.
give them the concept and then they figure out, because our bodies move different. And also things in a technique that might be important to one person isn't really that important to another person because they just don't conceptualize it that way.
Exactly. And I realized this, no joke, Max. I promise you, and Murtaza can validate this. In the last week, I realized, hey, Abby, the goal here of the instructor student relationship is not to give them all the answers. That's like having a kid and being like, I'm going to do all the work for you.
They say that also in therapy. They say
Really?
like, I'm never going to give you the answer to your problem. I want you to come to finding the answer to your problem.
Oh my God, that's so funny. And that now unblocks
Like-
a huge
like-
thing for me
like-
with my old therapist.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to say anything?
No.
I guess we're just here.
He just wants to guide you to what you think the solution is.
Oh my
Because who
lordy.
the hell is he to know what the solution is? You know, he
Yes.
just wants to get you in the direction to where you can move on with your life.
Oh, that's incredible. And then and in the relationship back to jiu-jitsu, where it's like I started realizing when enough people now, like I'll show something and I won't give all the answers, because one, if I give all the answers, you're not even gonna compute them.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna, so
You don't even
forget
know the
that.
language.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm giving the large lines, and then when I'm walking around and I'm seeing how people are doing, if I'm lucky enough that I have 2 or 3 groups who ask me the question that I would have explained had I been in, like, I'm just gonna lay it all out for you, then I'm really happy. I'm really happy because for
Right.
those 2 or 3 groups, when I give the answer, which
Yeah.
I will now because I've had 2 or 3 groups ask me the major question, which is depending on the context, now I know when I go up in the front and I give that answer, I know that 2 or 3 people in this room now are going to take it in,
Yeah.
but they're actually going to take it in and
Yeah.
absorb it. And now
Because
I have,
they're ready for it.
they're ready. Well said, dude. Because they're ready for it. That is so perfectly said. Yes. That is the hardest thing I think about teaching. Dumbing things down
Yeah.
so that it's simple enough, and then making sure to give the information when they are ready for it.
It's like the training portion of the class is what, 35 minutes, 40 minutes?
Yes.
So
Probably a bit more, but like whatever.
so like you can break a technique down in 2 ways, right? Show everything on the first demo, right? And then break it down and make it dumber as we go, or the opposite. Show it really simple, and then as the class progresses, add a bit more, add a bit more, add a bit more, add a bit more.
What do you think is best? Because now
add a bit more.
Yeah, I'm on the wavelength of the latter, which is again, I think the difference is beginner or advanced. If it was an advanced group, I think I would go the other route.
Because yes, for the beginner, if you give them too much at the beginning, you're confusing them, and then for the rest of the class, your job is to unconfuse them, which is, I mean, I don't think that's good. I think you should make it simpler and then give them a bit more information,
Yes.
Once they're ready to take on more information, give them a bit more, you know?
Yes. And the way that they've shown me that they're ready is that they're hitting the wall
question
and
themselves.
they ask the question.
Yeah.
Just the other day in the noon class, they got to that point. Like Brandon was with Lou, and I was showing kind of the.
I rolled with Brendan last night, man. I love rolling with him.
Yeah, he's a killer.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same guy?
French?
Yeah, French has the photo of his jacked body with his face on it, although like usually in his
but it's not his body?
It's not his body. It's like a bodybuilder. I always love those. But he was encountering this situation where the person, Lou, was giving him the right response to a scenario. And that was the next thing. And he looked at me like, what the hell? Like, this doesn't, what the hell? And I was like, perfect. I was like, you will never gonna forget.
Yeah.
Like, and dude,
That's true. Yeah.
yes,
Oh, bro, that's
like because he
beautiful, man.
really looked at it, was like, what the hell? And
Yeah.
I was like, and I didn't almost, I started hesitating. I was like, just give me, I'm like, just keep doing the exercise. Give me 2 minutes because I just wanted the other group to catch up, and then we were gonna address
Yeah.
that. And man, he was gonna hear it. He was ready for it. His half guard game. I don't know if he used it maybe against you yesterday, but his half guard game is going to start becoming a problem. He really gets into the
Yeah.
dogfight in a very good way.
Really?
Yes.
What do I do to, because yeah, he gives me a knee shield, but I smash it with a weave, so
nice
he might
weave
not
pass.
be getting the opportunity with me to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that underhook.
Well, it's gonna be super fun. Like watching him develop.
He's gonna be good.
Yeah, he's already
He
incredible.
yeah, he has a lot of those things that you need to survive in a gym. You know,
Oh, man.
he has grit.
He has grit, dude. He has grit. Did we speak about grit on the last pod?
We did.
Ah, I love that term. Well, I mean, hey, let's go back to Krevlo. Krevlo, here are the couple of things here. Depending on whether there is a certain amount of kind of like self-reflection that you have to do to just realize what, quote unquote, what kind of plateau are you doing, so that we can give you the right mix.
Yeah, are you complacent or are you frustrated?
Yes. Complacency on one side, frustrated on the other side. Since this is Krevlo who's asking the question, if you had to guess, Max, do you feel that Krevlo is more on the complacency side, or is he more on the frustrated side?
I don't know, bro. He could be like that.
We want to give him some good stuff here.
I know, but you don't know with guys like that, dude. Fucking Creflo is like always this guy who shows off like a positive image, but he could be that just a chill guy, mask guy with the positive, but he's crying in the back. So
It could be.
what do you think it is?
Oddly enough, I think he's like a mix of the two, and I really believe that in my core.
We all are.
Yeah, I guess so. But I feel like he really, like, if I'm gonna be really honest, if I hit a plateau, no, you're right, dude. We all are. We all are a mix of the two. Yeah. Well, then here we go, Krevlo. Here's the remedy. 1, you're going to need sometimes to take a little step back so that you can take a step forward. So if you feel like, hey, it's just too much and you're overtraining and you're just focused on kind of like all the anger stuff and you're not happy with your progression, that's not how you develop a relationship with jiu-jitsu. Take a little mini step back, acknowledge that you're going to have to go through the motions just like everybody else. Give yourself a break, and that could mean literally give yourself a break, chill out, watch a movie, eat some food, have some couch time. Another option, come into the gym, like Max said, and be of service. Try to kind of get outside of yourself and your goals and what you want for yourself, and show up to the gym and just be of service. Say, Abby, or whoever's instructing that day, is there a beginner in the class today? Can you pair me up with them? And go be of service. I think that's kind of a little bit of the remedy to be able to remove yourself from the dark focus that you might have now started walking down. In terms of like smashing through that next the complacency plateau, I think, Max, like, you have the best answer for this.
Yeah, give yourself a goal. Put a competition on your calendar. So now you have to show up for training in like a different, more focused way, or like try to think of your next belt. Like ask yourself like, what am I missing in my game that would make me that next belt? Like what, like maybe you're getting to side control, but you don't really have a lot of good options for getting to mount. That's a thing sometimes that can be like, okay, now I'm ready for my next game, or things like that.
And make things smaller. I feel like when we fall into this, like, I'm in a plateau mindset, you're making things too big. Make things smaller. Make your goals smaller. Like, you're like, you want to achieve this big thing, like passing Murtaza's guard. Bro.
Yeah.
You're not passing no Murtaza guard. Like, make things smaller.
And if you start doing that, you'll be the lobster who loses all the fights, and it's just gonna you're just gonna become.
You're weakening yourself.
You're weakening yourself. Yeah.
Like, you really are. Like, don't do that. Make your goals small. Like, I'm gonna help somebody today. Yeah. I'm gonna teach somebody something. I'm proud of myself for showing up this week 3-4 times, 2 times. I'm proud of myself for taking a day off and really maximizing that day off and feeling good about it. Small, silly, maybe not silly, but small goals that are gonna, again, pump you back up, lift you back up, lobster energy, top lobster energy. Like, don't get lost and in an extreme fashion, like don't end up brooding. Like, don't end up at the end over there. So, and also believe in the fact that this is the process. This is the process. I'll say it again. This is the process for jiu-jitsu. You are no different than Abby, than Max, than Mortaza, and then anybody at this gym. We all have these feelings. If you speak about it with anybody, they can relate if they've done this sport long enough.
Yeah.
There's always these motions. And so you just have to go through the motions and, see them through, I guess. So that's the one for Krevlo, Max. How we feeling?
Feeling good. Why'd you get a small cup of coffee?
This is a medium, sir.
Okay. I got
Yours looking large.
I mean, I got the big.
That shocks me because most of the time you get the small. You get the yellow cup. I have video proof, dude.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. But that's normally because I have one at home, so that's why I didn't get one at home today.
I'm a medium guy, which also always would screw up my mind. It's like people always say like, "Oh, I only had one coffee today."
Yeah.
What size?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you had one coffee.
What's the cup size?
Yeah, what's the cup size, dude? We're just throwing that part out the window because a lot of guys are like, I don't drink that much caffeine. I just have one coffee a day. It's like a jug.
A cup is a measurement.
Yeah.
Like, how many cups do you think fit in that cup?
4.
No.
3.
Maybe.
It's 250?
A cup's 250?
I think so, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like 3 maybe.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of coffee in one shot.
Yeah.
And then we're all jittery all day, thinking about our jiu-jitsu and brooding.
Yeah. I gotta eat something. Is there a class today? Gi class?
Yeah, we got our gi class.
Is it at 1:30?
It's at noon. 12. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it. Fuck.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm working tomorrow, so
take it slow. Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta go advance that job so I can leave to Barbados next Saturday.
Man, we're gonna uncover Barbados Max soon. It's gonna be wild, dude. You're gonna come back like a lobster, red.
Dude, dude. A sunburn can ruin that vacation, man.
Dude,
I gotta spray that shit on me.
Bro, please don't be the guy who buys the spray thing.
Why?
Bro,
how am I gonna get my back if I don't have the spray?
You can't go spray.
Why?
Dude, that thing is the biggest scam. Have you ever seen anybody apply that thing on the beach? It's like this. It's like a windy day. Dude, that canister is like $20 at least. It's super expensive because they've turned their sunscreen into a spray.
Yeah.
And then you hold it here, you press spray, half of it is flying literally into the air. Barely anything is even touching you. And you're done that canister in, no joke, 8 minutes. Like, you barely had put anything on you. The wind is getting most of it.
How the hell am I gonna get? I can't reach
my back. Yeah,
what am I
gonna
do?
Go to a yoga class. Do something. You got to go like, how do you shower? You got to do the
honestly, I just gotta I hit my shoulders and I hit the bottom of my back.
That's it.
The middle never gets clean, dude.
Hopefully the soap from the shoulder kind of trickles down and gets a little area, but that's the move, dude. You want to spend $1 million on sunscreen? Buy the spray that goes into the air. Dude, it's the funniest thing when I see these dudes spray it. I don't know why it irks me so much. Because I know there's some marketing guy behind this whole scheme that's like, if we turn it into spray, we could charge double or triple for it, and it'll empty quicker.
Yeah.
And most of it won't even be applied on the person.
All right.
I need to commit. I need you to promise me you're buying the cream.
Yeah, I'll buy the cream.
Yeah. And do you know what the number means?
The number of minutes I can stay in the sun without putting it back on?
That's what I heard too, dude.
Is that it?
I don't know.
I think that's it.
All right. I was like, is that real?
I think so.
Yeah, do that. Dude,
smell like
just make sure to get the top parts. Top of your head, top of your shoulder, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's the real, like, you know how like when you shower,
you
got to get the hot spots?
Back. How does the sun, no matter where it is, it makes its way to your upper back?
Shoulders. If it's behind you and shit, it hits you. You know what I mean? It's where the sun is placed. But you want to know like a place that we always forget?
What?
Top of the feet, bro. Dude, you got these guys walking around in sandals. The top of their foot is all burnt because That's a direct spot. It's like bang, you know?
I might do some shopping too. You think they have a Walmart over there?
Fuck yeah. In Barbados?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, Walmart is everywhere. We could probably Google this, but let's not.
I
I
might
want
get
you to
some
find out when
t-shirts.
you get there.
I might get some new glasses over there too.
I feel like that's a buy there scenario.
Glasses?
Yeah, you know, you find those cheapos on the beach, like they sell them to you for like $2, $3.
Not sunglasses, reading glasses.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Yeah, these ones are all fucked up.
Yeah, they've lived their time.
Oh, dude, look at this.
We're gonna retire them. Oof,
See-
that
you see
guy's
this?
hanging on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right on your ear?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, this is like to,
Hold on.
yeah, to hold it there. I like added this.
That's like your glasses' grip strength.
Yeah, I fucking roll on them at night,
Oh,
and then
really?
like I wake up and the seat's just bent. I gotta bend it back and
Oh,
shit.
man, you're living.
Horrible, dude.
Why don't you get that surgery? Are you candidate?
Man, you know what it is I don't want to spend $5,000 in one shot. My finances, dude. You know, like they're okay. I'm not like financially strapped or anything. But ever since I reached that financial goal, I'm so stupid with my money.
All right, your pendulum swinging the other way.
I don't even know.
Now that you know you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like I'm going on this trip. I was checking out hotel rooms this morning, and like I got to be honest with you, I think I want to spend a couple of grand on a hotel room, dude.
Yeah. What's the? I mean, there are other options,
but
like,
it's crazy that I am thinking this.
can I share? Oh, go ahead. Oh, I feel you. Can I share my?
Like I feel like dude. I want to contribute more to my war chest, but I'm doubting if I will ever be back in the mind space to where I'm saving money, because now I'm thinking of things that I need instead of thinking of saving.
Well, that's the rat race of life, bro. And you're now in it, where you're like, need more money, spend more money. I need more to
But I
spend
hate
more.
that.
I know it's a terrible thing.
I love
Or maybe you
seeing
become,
my money grow. I
or-
love seeing it in the
for
bank.
sure, dude. Or maybe you become like the guy who invented the lawnmower or whatever the hell. You're just like, there must be an easier way, and then you start making even more money. This
Could be.
need will develop something.
Man,
but
I have a cousin, all right? I have in this family there are two, a guy and a girl, Michelle and Dominic, okay?
great names.
Michelle, who's a girl,
Nice.
not really a girl's name, right?
No, I was thinking,
Yeah.
the way you said Dominique,
Yeah.
I don't know, for whatever reason lent me to female and Michelle as the dude, but is it flipped?
No,
They're both female?
no.
Oh my god, it is the flip?
Yep.
Terrible.
Michelle is the girl, Dominic is the guy. Dominic. In English it sounds
Yeah,
like,
in English it's but
So Michelle is like super conservative, dude, you know? Job, she works for the government now. She
amazing.
makes good money, but she's always been like about security.
Yes.
Dominic, dude,
Ah!
business mogul, man.
Oh damn.
Always fucking getting a bunch of cash, starting a business, selling the
Amazing.
business, buying a house, going on vacation.
Living.
This guy, money comes and goes to him.
Amazing.
I mean, for me, it's like, man, the courage it takes to have 1 million one day, and then buy a house, and then have $0 the next. You're insane, dude.
Well, I mean, there's a way of thinking about it and viewing it. It's like
No,
you
no,
do
I
have
know.
an asset that's worth something,
yeah.
etc.
But yeah, I know. But he's
Yeah.
like,
I get it. He's
just smart in that
doing
way.
things.
You know?
Yeah, he's
It's-
making
it's
things happen.
incredible.
I love that. I love that. Hey, can I give you some advice about the hotel in Barbados?
Yeah, go for it.
Dude, don't book the whole thing now. I don't know if this is gonna flip on you.
Book
Okay,
a day or two.
book like, I don't know, how long are you there?
12.
12 days?
Yeah.
Like, look, this could blow up in your face, but you could book a week, and then a day before you leave, you say, hey, listen, guys, like, I kind of like it here. I was gonna maybe stay somewhere else just to switch it up, but if you guys give me a good deal, I'll stay another week. When you say I'll stay another week, they'll give you a better deal than the initial deal you got.
Okay.
But on the flip side to that, if it's busy season, which I don't know if it is or isn't, because
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
good at this stuff, but like you should just Google, is it busy season, holiday season, or whatever. They'll be like, sorry, man, we're fully booked. But if they're not fully booked, I guarantee you, you are gonna get way better of a deal holding off
I
for
think
that
it is
second
busy.
week.
I think it is
Busy?
busy because on the map I see a bunch of hotel, but none of them are available for my.
Can somebody help us here if we post this early enough? No, probably not, eh?
I'm leaving next week, dude.
Yeah. Damn, Barbados
I
Max.
cannot believe that there's a jiu-jitsu gym there that's open 3 days a week.
How many of those days are in the gi? Hopefully all of them, but probably one or two. Or maybe they're gonna have like hybrid days.
Yeah, it's probably, I guess so. Yeah, I think it would be mixed.
There are no other gyms?
It's a small island.
Yeah.
There's 2 clubs, but they're owned by the same company.
Oh damn, that's Monopoly, dude.
Yeah.
This guy is Scarface.
Yeah,
He owns the 2 gyms? How do you know that?
because if you flip from one website to like, he has like a website, let's say, that's more like we do Muay Thai and shit,
Okay.
and then there's Jiu-Jitsu on it, and then if you click on it, it brings you to the other website.
Damn. Smart.
You know, so
Dude, it's a dream of mine. I know this is gonna sound silly, and it's a dream of mine to have like 2 businesses that are the same business but across the street from one another, and just nobody knows that they're both mine. Like even the employees. I don't know why, but I find that so funny and amazing. Like it's this whole fallacy of like you think you have a choice, but really that's like everything in life. Like we're all under this weird impression that like that pasta brand is different than that one. Dude, they're all
all
owned by
the
like
same. Yeah.
Nestle. It's like damn it.
Yeah.
But I would love to do that with like I would never get in this business, but with bookstores. It's like, why would there be a bookstore? And then why would there be a rival bookstore right across the street? There isn't enough room. And it's like, hey man, I don't know. But
It's crazy sometimes. Eh? Like I go to Home Depot to buy tools, and there's always these like cheapy tool companies that like pop out of nowhere, right? And that like all of a sudden this company is producing like every single type of tool that you could imagine. You're like,
how did they do
how
that?
did they?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have the machines to make these tools,
Yes.
right? They're just getting them done in China, stamping their stamp on them, and then they're selling it to Home Depot.
Crazy.
It's gotta be it, eh?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of times it's the same manufacturer. They're just kind of like it's a different branding, you know. It's like for me, dude. Like as a rookie tool guy,
Yeah.
I'm almost picking tools based on their color. Oh, there's the yellow tools. There's the green ones. There's the red ones. There's like this weird neon green now, and I'm just like, what looks cooler? Like that's how silly it is.
Really?
When you don't have experience, you're just kind of like, I'm choosing based on color and obviously price.
You know, I'll give you the thing with tools, like especially power tools. Why guys stick to one brand is because you want to be able to use your batteries on any one of the tool.
Yeah, that makes
If you have like a Makita, like a Milwaukee and a DeWalt, all of a sudden you can only use your battery for that. If the battery dies, then you got to charge it and wait an hour to be able to use your whatever.
Yeah, no, that's a disaster.
Yeah.
But that must mean it's so important to get the guy. You want me to buy my first tool?
Yeah.
You better win me on that one, because then after that, like I'm just gonna start thinking like that. I guess
you're gonna stick to that,
and I'm gonna stick
that
that for life.
Yeah.
What's your guy?
DeWalt.
Dude, me too. I like the yellow. I think it was on discount though.
Me too. That's it. I bought a drill and it was
highly discounted, and I'm like, I'm a DeWalt guy now.
Yeah.
But
they get you.
It's really funny. Different trades have their brand. Like plumbers love Makita.
Yeah.
Is that true? Because the plumber that I knew was like, it's the only one. It's the only way.
Now, Milwaukee is trying to push for plumbers a lot. They're doing a lot of plumber specialized power tools.
Wild.
So they're trying to get that market. Rigid was another one that had a lot of good snakes and shit like that.
Cool. Well, that's that, Max. So how are we feeling? What are we thinking here?
I had good rolls last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really, really good rolls.
How do you feel, like, what are the qualifications for you? Actually, let me ask you this white belt question. What are your metrics for qualifying a role as good? And what are your metrics for qualifying your roles, or maybe it's just vice versa, but as bad if they are different?
a good roll for me, there there's a couple of things, right? It's like, because I can have a good roll when I rolled with someone who's less good than me, but my and it allowed me to do a technique properly, but I was aware enough to do the technique properly. Like I did some back takes yesterday, and I was just focusing on getting my head higher the than than the other's head, and just the fact that I was able to think that that's what I had to do to get the back. And I don't climb on the back. It's too much effort. I just get my head higher, I grab their hip, I shrimp out, and I bring them down.
Beauty.
So I did that like 3, 4 times, last night.
So accomplishing something that you had kind of
Yeah, that like I have the answer for, but I'm not really practicing because I'm not getting the opportunities, and then I get.
right. But one of your ways of feeling good about a role is that you had something in your mind that you're looking to kind of rep out or
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
and you actually managed to do it.
Or it might not even be something that I have in my mind. It might just be something that like through the role, a situation happens and I have the right answer for it and I do the right answer for it and it works.
Okay.
So that's good. That's against people who are like slightly under me, like a white belt who's like slightly under me. And then a good role with a person who's, let's say, better than me, like like a purple belt, like is that
I love
it would
that.
be that
I don't find them, man.
that my like parts of my A game is working on them,
That's
right?
amazing. Well
Like
said.
if I can pass their guard, get to north south, and then like attempt a mount or get a mount.
Well, wait. Like those are like the conclusions, but I think you said it even better when you were like the A games, which is your pressure passing.
Yeah.
Like that they're working, or
Yes.
that you can accomplish a pressure pass against
On someone who's better
because
than me.
pressure passing in your case is your A game.
It's my game, yeah.
So busting out the A game and having some success with
Yeah.
it when you're rolling against somebody you perceive as being better than
Yes.
you is what makes you feel like you had
This was a good roll, yeah.
Wow.
Because like I might not necessarily win the roll. I might even get tapped out and we might have to reset. But if one of my weapons worked against someone who is better than me, then I'd be like, hey, this is a real thing, man. I can do this on people. I might be like missing some answers for the rest of the progression, but if I passed your guard, got to side, got to mount, and then lost the mount, and then got smashed, I don't care. I fucking did. It's a big deal when you're rolling against someone who's better than you. It's a big deal to be able to do these things.
I think that's super powerful, dude. I think it's powerful that you can cut up the role into scenarios and be like, hey, you can't be good at everything. Like you can't maintain the mount and blah blah blah, get a submission. I don't know what, but like you've managed to find a way where you're like, hey, right now my A game is my ability to pass through pressure, and if that, like, if I accomplish that in a role against a higher belt, I have something to feel really good about, and you can kind of be a goldfish about the rest, which is like you can forget it real quick. That's super super good. And do you actually at the end of the roll kind of reflect on that, or
Oh yeah.
Wow, dude, I don't do any of this.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Yeah, I don't do, like, I think this is a flaw in me actually, and that I should be working more on doing this, but I don't do that. I'm I'm just looking at the whole picture. I'm not looking at those like little moments.
Oh no.
Which is a mistake. Honestly, it really is.
Like every phase of the progression, I see as individually.
Amazing.
I think that's why my progression seems slow maybe to some people in jiu-jitsu, because I really focus on like guard pass, side, north south, getting to mount, when I'm on mount, retaining mount, getting the elbows up. All of those things are like separate things for me. I don't see a roll as one big thing. I always see it as a step and a progression.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And what's the flip side of all this? Because Like those are the things that make you feel like you had a good roll.
Yeah.
Where, again, with a higher belt, and this is super well said, with a higher belt, some of your A game, which in your case is pressure passing, which in somebody else's case could be a specific thing like a leg drag, but in your case, it's, there goes my tennis ball. There's the ability to have some of your A game work on a higher belt. And then for a lower belt, you're saying like you feel good about it because
For a lower belt, it's like
you were able to.
I have a technique that I want to work on, but I'm not super familiar. I suck at taking the back. It was just a part of my game that I neglected because for years I was, it was just not a part of my game. So now, if I get an arm drag, you know, and I get my head above I won't be able to do that to a purple belt, but I can do it to a white belt. And if I do it properly to a white belt and I get on his back and the technique is sound, that's a big deal for me.
Yeah, and then eventually you can progress it to the higher belt.
To a higher belt, yeah.
Which is kind of what Murtaza says when he's learning any new technique. And this is like just a way of talking, but he's always like, start off with women and children.
Yeah.
Like start off with like the white belts, the weaker, and use that, build yourself up, and then start putting it through the fire.
And you know who else says that? Roger Gracie.
Amazing.
John Danaher.
Amazing.
A lot of these guys always say I think they say 80% of your roles should be with people who aren't as good as you. That's how you're going to progress the fastest.
Makes perfect sense. And so what's the flip side, Max, of the storyline kind of? So now we're saying those are the check marks. Like if you can accomplish, okay, I'm working on a new technique. Let me go with a white belt that's much less than me, and let me actually get a couple of reps and start to build up that confidence.
Yeah.
And with the higher belts, it's, let me just try to insert a piece of my A game. And if I can do that, check as well. But what makes you feel, is it just literally the opposite of those things that make you feel like you had a bad roll? Or is there more to kind of like that negative checklist?
The negative checklist would be, I'm probably already tired. It's like, dude, things that happen outside of the mats affect my game on the mats so much, man. Like if I got a bullshit client, dude, who's fucking taking up all my energy, and I show up here, I can't help it, man. I'm just in a negative headspace, and I might have a bad roll, So
we're all human.
But in terms of rolling, what it would be, it's like maybe I just don't have the energy to get up on a single leg, and I end up being smashed and losing position, and I feel shitty about it,
That makes sense. And I think the advice that we were giving Krevlo earlier kind of, I know it's hard and we're all human, and sometimes you just have to feel shitty so that you can appreciate the good parts. But I think the advice that we were saying earlier, where it's like, if you can have the ability, the reflection and the ability to kind of feel where you're at, and you feel like you're already in that headspace, making the goals even smaller for that day, and being proud of the accomplishment. Hey, at least I showed up. Hey, I don't know, I'm gonna go help a white belt. I'm gonna go, if you can have that recognition that you're in that mode, and put yourself these little goals, maybe you come out of here, instead of coming out of here kind of more upset, which is sometimes what we're looking to validate when we're in a negative headspace. You might come out of here neutral, which is better than negative. But I mean, sometimes we just got to go through the motions too, right?
That's the reality of it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. All right, I think we're there, Max.
Yeah, I think we've been talking for a very long time.
All right, well,
Diana's here.
And
that's a good sign.
Wow, almost exactly when we were calling it.
Yeah.
And when is Barbados Max becoming Barbados Max?
On the 18th.
And what day is it?
Next Saturday. Are you going to drive me to the airport?
Absolutely, I am, sir. I can't wait. I will love that. Cool. Maybe we'll film a little mini podcast.
All right.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
We got to do a Costco podcast, man.
I can't wait.
We hook up
with
the camera to the front of the cart, and it's just
Oh
us
my
walking in
God.
front of the cart like this, talking.
Front of the cart.
Yeah.
That's epic. All right, let's do it, Max.
All right, cool.
It's a show.
All right.
Thanks, homie. Whoa, my back. Shouldn't have not came last night. Yeah, always a win when the video's still going.